Round 2, Game 6, Thursday night on ESPN between the Thunder and Nuggets. I'm going to break down the side total, player props, free info, free analysis coming up right here, right now. Hi, this is Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV. And don't forget, I've been doing every NBA playoff game every day for you. If you're finding it useful, thumbs up, like, positive comments below, and I will keep it going on a daily basis. All right, the Thunder, the best record in the NBA this year, the best defensive efficiency, the best net rating overall, but they have struggled a bit in this playoff series. And yes, they pulled out the win in Game 5 at home, as expected, but it wasn't pretty, and they had to go down to the wire. In fact, Denver went to a zone defense, which really started to cause trouble for Oklahoma City. And SGA got over his point prop total. He landed 31. It was 30.5, but drove to the lane several times, flopping, not getting the foul calls like he did in the regular season. So this isn't a done deal yet, and I do think Denver has a chance to extend the series as a home dog. I'm going to look at the total, though, for the free play in this video. Once again, I think the Thunder are the better team. If they played anywhere near their norm, they should win this game by double digits. But once again, hard to trust OKC. Really went in an offensive slump late in that game. It cost us our team total play by a couple points. Had they not gone on a 4-minute scoreless drought in the fourth quarter, the team total gets up and over easy. I'll talk about the total for this game in a moment. But once again, Denver back at home, 4.5 to 5 point dog. I do think OKC is the better team, but I almost feel like Denver, even with the interim head coach, has been the better coach team. And it's interesting too, guys. I pulled up these numbers. If you look at largest margin of lead in either game, and then you subtract the difference. For example, Denver was up 12 in Game 5. OKC was up 10, so that would be +2 for Denver. The margin of difference between biggest lead has been more than 7 only once in all 5 games, and that was that Game 2 blowout in which OKC came in off the loss in Game 1 in a focus spot. But it's been 7, 6, 0, and -2 for all the other games. So the Thunder really have not been dominating the series as much as they should. We will look at the total, though, for a free play here in this video. I'm also going to give you some free player props in just a moment. First, big adjustment down from the Game 1 and Game 2 lines, and even the Game 3 line. We saw 229, 230, and then 232 in Game 3 in Denver, the first game they played here last week. And even with overtime, it stayed under. So then they bumped it to 228. It landed at 179. And then 221.5 landed at 217. So we've had 3 straight unders, including 2 very low-scoring games in Denver in the thin air and altitude. But I think we're getting some value now over 217, and there's a few reasons. First of all, this is 15 points lower than 2 games ago in Denver, back in Game 3. And then on top of that, we're getting a little bit of a sharp square divide. And the reason I say that is, yes, it briefly opened 219, got bumped down to 217. But if you look at the sharp square books on the oddslogic.com free live odds screen, I'll have, by the way, a 7-day trial for you in just a moment. Square public books are at 217. The sharper offshore books are 217.5. Pinnacle's even at 218 plus money. So I do think there's a little bit of a sharp lean to the over here based on that adjusted line value. Now I'm concerned because Oklahoma City struggled with the zone defense, but I think with the day off and extra prep time now, they'll make some adjustments. So I look for OKC to play better, shoot a little bit better, and play smarter, hopefully. If they do so, I think they probably get the win and this game gets over, but we'll see how it plays out. It was ugly at times in that fourth quarter on Tuesday night in Game 4, or Game 5 rather. OKC escaped with the win. We'll see what they can do here in Game 6. But I would lean over 217, as I think it's a little bit of an over-adjustment based on the past few games. And keep in mind, Denver has not shot well in the past couple games. In Game 4, they were very poor, 11 for 45, 24% from 3. OKC was exactly 10 for 41, 24% from 3 as well. OKC did shoot better from three-point range in Game 5, but Denver struggled again, just 13 for 46, 28%, only 41% from the field. But the pace is kind of quick still. So if the teams hit anywhere near their normal shot percentages, I think over 217 is in play. Let's look at some player props. So I think that might be where the best value is here in this Game 6 on Thursday night. I've been talking about Westbrook. I said, hey, he had the 3 big games to start. And I told you a couple games ago, look to start fading him on a consistent basis. And if you've done so, you have definitely made some money. He was just 1 for 7, just 19.5 minutes, just 4 points in Game 5 the other night. He had only 6 points in Game 4, only 8 points in Game 3. So once again, the last 3 games, if you faded Westbrook, like I mentioned a few games ago, you've been making money. His point total, though, was 11.5 the first couple when he went over, 13.5, and now it's 10.5, even 9.5 now for Game 6. So there's not a lot of value left at this point, but it'd be Westbrook unders or pass for me, especially against the best defensive team in the league. Jokic. Let's talk Jokic. We always talk about how he's like a triple-double machine every other game. Well, he has not had a triple-double in this series. He hasn't even been close, to be honest. And that's because he's not getting the assists. He's getting plenty of points, getting the rebounds as well. And he's really been a one-man show. And I think that's going to continue because Oklahoma City is a good defensive team. They're taking the secondary players out of the equation. So I have no problem with Jokic points over. He had 44 the other night. He's priced at 28.5. He had 27, 20, and 17 the other games with 42. So he is 3-2 to the under on points. If you're going to play his over, it'd be points for me. But I want to talk about assists. The reason he's not getting close to triple doubles is because he's not getting any assists. In fact, he has had 6 assists or less in every one of these games, even though his total's been as high as 9.5 in some of them. Now it's down to 8.5, even 8. But if you go all the way back to the Clippers series, in 8 of his last 9 playoff games this year, Jokic has had 8 assists or less. Once again, he's had 8 or less assists in 8 of his last 9 playoff games, including 6 or less in all 5 games in this series. Yet he's still priced at that 8, 8.5 range. So Jokic assist unders have been working. The reason is because he averaged nearly 10 per game this season. Barely averaged basically a triple-double this year. Hasn't been close to being the case, and it's not a fluke. Oklahoma City, the best overall defensive team this year, and they're taking the secondary players out of the equation. And one of those guys, other than Westbrook unders, who I've mentioned all series long, is Michael Porter Jr. unders, and they continue to cash. He was awful again in Game 5, 1 for 7 shooting, 0 for 5 from 3, and just 2 points. Porter Jr. props in Game 1 and 2 was around 11.5. He was as high as 12.5 in Game 4 because he had that one game of 21 points in Game 3. He has since had 3 points and 2 points the last 2 games. He had 8 points and 2 points in Games 1 and 2. So other than that 21-point outlier in Game 3, he has been 8 or less in his other 4 playoff games in this series, and he's still priced at 9.5, 9 at most sports books. So Westbrook, Porter under, Jokic assist under, maybe Jokic points over if you're going to play anything over with him, would be the way I look there. And as far as OKC, I mentioned Gilchrist Alexander getting over the 30.5, but keep in mind his point total was higher than that for the first few games. His over-under posted line was as high as 32.5 the first few games, and then it was 31.5. He only had 25, and then they bumped it to 30.5. He got to 31, but he has had 33, 34, 31, 25, and 18. So he's been right around this number, and as I mentioned earlier, he's not getting the foul calls when he drives to the hoop like he does in the regular season. So I'm kind of neutral on SGA. Even though I like maybe the over in this game, more scoring, I'd stay away from him. The 2 guys I think that could do more scoring for Oklahoma City, and by the way, when SGA was out there is when they went to the zone defense, and that's when they struggle because he wants to drive to the hoop. The zone stops that. They moved the ball pretty well otherwise with him on the bench, which is kind of counterintuitive, and Jalen Williams is a big part of that. I've mentioned him a few times. He did not have a good shooting night, just 5 for 14, but he played 37.5 minutes, second most on the team. And if he shoots anywhere near his average after 2 subpar games, I think he gets there. Keep in mind, he had 32 points in Game 3 at Denver, and then he followed it up with only 10 and 18, and now he's at 21.5, even 20.5s out there. I like Jalen Williams over 20.5. I think he could have a decent breakout game here in Game 6. And a guy off the bench we'll talk about, and most sportsbooks have odds on all these guys since it's playoff time, is Alex Caruso. Played only 24 minutes in Game 5 the other night, but finished with 13 points, and he was still only 4 for 10 shooting, but he was 3 for 6 from three-point range. And Caruso's got some nice matchups in this series. In fact, in his past 2 games, he's had 10 and 13 points, and he had a huge breakout game in Game 1 when he had 20 points. Keep in mind, he was priced at 6.5 in that game. They bumped it to 8.5, then he had a 7 and a 2. They had it at 7.5 the last few games. He's still anywhere from 7.5 to 8.5, but once again, he's had 7 points or more in 4 of the 5 games in this series, and he's had double digits in 3 of the games. So I do like Alex Caruso over the 7.5 to 8 points if you're looking for an over prop along with Jalen Williams for the Thunder. There you go. Deep dive. We have just one game because Cavs Pacers is done. Finito in the tank. Number 1 seed down in the East. Thunder hanging on. They should win this series up 3-2, but it's not a done deal. In fact, the adjusted series prices we had into Game 6 has them at almost 1-12. Take back 8-1 on the Nuggets. Do you like the Nuggets at 8-1 to win the next 2 games? I'm definitely not laying 1-12, although the Thunder should win one of these 2. They haven't dominated the series as much as they should have. I think they probably get it done, but once again, they're not looking like a dominant team like they were in the regular season. What is your prediction for the NBA Finals? I'm saying maybe T-Wolves Pacers. How do you like that? Boy, that would be terrible for the networks. Indiana, Minnesota. They don't have much left, though. What are your thoughts? Finals prediction. Drop it in the chat below. And more importantly, drop your side total player prop predictions for Game 6 here between the Thunder and the Nuggets. I do truly read the comments and I reply back. Include some analysis if you have time. Let's learn and earn and win together here on WagerTalk TV. And once again, I've done every NBA playoff game. I will continue to do so this entire postseason. Thumbs up, like, positive comments below. And don't forget to subscribe. Over 202,000 subscribers. Can't be wrong. I'm sure you're one of them, but just double check. And when you do subscribe, click the bell as well for an instant alert, so you know when these free play videos are posted each and every day right here on WagerTalk TV. And don't forget, it's baseball season as well. I'm doing free daily baseball videos throughout the week also here on the channel. And if you'd like to get my personal best bets, NBA playoffs, baseball is the bread and butter for the next several months. Look, playoffs are winding down. We were number one last year in the NBA. We were number one in baseball best bet profit last year. And yes, we will still have baseball or basketball best bets. Not quite as many, obviously, the next couple rounds because there's just not as many games. But baseball, full throttle. Almost 15 games every day. It's like a full NFL card every day of the week. And there's some great value in baseball. I proved it last year when I went over 100 units. We doubled our bankroll in baseball alone last year. In fact, all sports clients had already doubled their bankroll by the end of August last summer. If you want to do it this year, you got to be on board. Let's take a true investment approach. Now, it doesn't matter if you get a 1 day, a 1 week, a 1 month, a 1 year. Every client gets the exact same best bets I'm personally using. Same games I've won with consistently for the last 29 years as a full-time professional when I started in 1996. I've been doing this, yes, for 4 decades. Count it. 90s, 2000s, the teens, the 20s. That's 4 decades, even though it's only 29 years. Only 29 years. But seriously, if I have a play, my clients get it. And I'm very selective. Maybe 2 to 3 best bets per day on average, which means a long-term investment approach does make you money, and it really has a great risk-reward ratio. And that's why I preach the importance of a direct subscription. Now, if you want to try it out, if you're new to the channel, I get it. Try a 3-day sampler for $49. Normally it's $69, but this week only, you can get a 3-day sampler for $49. No promo code needed. Or, if you're ready to take the investment approach with the 1-year all-access, I know I always give you that special promo code for the $811 discount. Well, this week you do not need the promo code. You get it automatically, and you get an added bonus, a 25% coupon you can use any day as often as you like for the next 365 days and nights. Here's the logic behind that. Yes, you're locking into my best bets for the next 365 days, all-inclusive, nothing else to get. But there's also 20 other cappers on WagerTalk, and I know sometimes they have big plays, like a 5%er or a special offer. This promo code, this coupon, you get the 25% coupon to use with anyone else you want for the next year as well when you want to pick up a big play here or there to add to your bankroll. So once again, this is a great offer. You get the 1-year all-access. That gets it down to $3 a day, $1 a play with the instant $811 discount, and you're getting the bonus 25% coupon to use anytime over the next 365 days and nights as often as you'd like. This is the time to get on board, and this is the time of year to get on board, as I proved it last year with the monster baseball season and the rest of the NBA playoffs. Plus, you're getting all of next year's college and pro football, all of next year's college basketball, all of next year's NBA regular season into the playoffs, all of this year's baseball into next year's baseball. 365 days and nights with an instant 40% discount gets it down to $3 a day, just $1 a play, plus the bonus 25% coupon you can use over the next year. Check it out right now. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com, and get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. And don't forget, selective, 2 to 3 best bets on average, which means that last cut that just misses the best bet card, just a bit outside, is still a strong opinion. Hey, what do I do with it? I don't want to waste it. I put it up for free for everybody. So once again, a daily free play that just missed the cut, and then my strong best bets. Check out Thursday's card right now. Check out those promos. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com, and get there quicker, WT.buzz/SM. Hey, on the way out, don't forget to follow me on social media. I post these free play videos up there each and every day, along with the free plays and special offers at Steve Merrill on X, 2 R's, 1 L, MERRIL, 2 R's, 1 L, at Steve Merrill on X and Instagram. And stay tuned here to WagerTalk TV because you also know there's more free play videos coming up next.